Hello, Laketa. Thank you
Hi,
for taking some time today to do a student spotlight with Operation Graduate.
thank you. This is a pleasure.
So, we're going to talk for probably the next 15 minutes about your experience overall. You've been working with our team for quite some time.
Yes.
And so, some of the questions I'm going to ask you about are going to require you to think back a little bit.
Okay.
So, I'm curious, just maybe to get us started, what was it that inspired you to go back to school originally?
Well, life does this thing called lifing, and
Mm-hmm.
I've always desired to have my 4-year degree. And seeing that, being the wife and mom, sometimes the kids take all your time away from you, trying to make sure that they're going the right path. And once I have gotten everything together and all that, and I was looking at work experience and wanted to be in different positions, I just started kind of looking around and all as to getting into a field that I know that I'm gonna like and stuff. And when Operation Graduate came along, it made it so simple and easy because it was just the support that just was phenomenal because I didn't have to necessarily do any work. I just submitted whatever I needed and all, and it was all done. Next thing you know, I was starting class. I was like, wow. So it was just phenomenal on how that was and all. And it made the experience really, really good seeing that I haven't been in school for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it just made the whole start to finish to getting started with classes so much better. It was less stressful.
Mm-hmm.
And I could just say it was just phenomenal.
So you finally had a little bit more time for yourself and you decided that you wanted to be able to find work in a field that you enjoyed.
Yeah.
And then you feel like when you made that decision, suddenly we came along at the right time and really took the stress out of the process.
Yes, I've worked in healthcare almost over 20 years, and I've
Hmm.
actually been a licensed practical nurse now for almost 20 years.
Okay.
Seeing how my experience and all have worked in medical management, worked in case management, and you know, doing things that are managerial like, and
Hmm.
seeing, I just look at the fact that my experience, I need to move ahead. And
Hmm.
even with, a practical nursing license, I still can move ahead because I have over 15 years of that experience.
Hmm.
So I want to get somewhere where I know that I can I can excel.
How did you end up deciding on the particular program that you ended up enrolling into?
Well, I was looking at probably trying to go back to nursing school to get my
Hmm.
BSN, but a job that I currently had at the time, they would not support me leaving at least an hour early on certain days to attend classes. So since I work with a lot of great doctors, I was considering possibly, trying to see what else I could possibly go into. And one of the providers that I work with mentioned about healthcare administration because he was like,
Hmm.
for him being a doctor, he said, it's y'all nutcases though that got business degrees that's over us, telling us what to do.
Hmm.
And he mentioned the fact that all my experience having been working with him and he see what I'm capable of, even managing a whole office and dealing with people. He said, you will be a shoe-in. And I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna give it a try. So I just got to Googling a lot of things and all. The next thing you know how you put something in that you're inquiring about, and then some 30,000 calls come at the same time.
I think we've all experienced that.
Yes, but it wasn't until Operation Graduate caught my attention, and then talking with Daryl. Oh my gosh, Daryl! I probably have really just wore him in. And so, but Daryl was superb. Daryl made me feel very comfortable about my decision. He stayed motivating, he stayed encouraging.
Hmm.
He did whatever he tried to do and stuff like that to try to make things better for me. And he called me more often than what many people would have thought because he cared just that enough about me to make sure that I had what I need and I had the understanding, tools, resources. He did all that and he still checks up on me.
Uh-huh.
So this says a lot about a person. And it just made the decision so much easier when you know you have people in your corner like that.
Absolutely. Well, I love it because I get chills when I hear these stories, and these are my favorite responsibilities, honestly, in my position to do our student spotlights and to hear what it feels like to be on the other end of what we're doing.
Mhm.
So it's wonderful that you felt like it made it easier and that you just had somebody who was genuinely in your corner.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I guess one of my favorite questions is a perfect segue. What are some of your most memorable moments of working with our team, or particularly Daryl, since you were just speaking about it?
Calling Daryl in tears because I did not know how to use the blackboard or
Okay.
to understand how to get through there and all, and being scared and all because it's been like almost 30 years since I've been in a classroom setting.
Mm-hmm.
And I having so much anxiety and all, and it was many times I was on the phone with him, and he may not have known it though, but I had tears streaming because
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it's so easy to give up because
Yeah.
it's like the fear of the unknown. But Daryl talked to
Mm-hmm.
me, he kept me motivated, kept me encouraged, and here it is, a whole year and a half later,
Mm-hmm.
still at it.
And you're doing so well too. I mean, we're all really proud of you. We're a small group here. And so we all know each other's students, and we're always keeping an eye on things and celebrating our student success. I'm curious, have you had an opportunity yet to receive one of our scholarships?
I believe I have. I have in the past. And like I said, please pardon me because I
Hmm.
am moving around. But
Laketa's at work, everybody, just so you know.
yes, yeah, I think I have maybe once or twice.
Hmm. And how did that feel? Suddenly you're back in school after decades not being a student, and then suddenly not only are you back in, but you're getting a scholarship. How did that feel?
Very rewarding. It felt like I was doing something right, and I mean, you hear this and all for kids that are young enough to be mine, but
Yeah.
it was just very rewarding. It goes to show that I was doing something right.
Hmm.
And and one of the biggest things now, having Daryl in my corner, it's like I'm motivated to make sure now I give him a good name. I'm representing him because
I love it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's interesting when you have a partner, right, in motivation and accountability. And I also want to acknowledge what you said about just like that fear of the unknown and how it is really challenging to work through that sometimes.
Yes.
And we're very proud of you, Lakita, for how you've done that and had such success academically. I'm curious about your strategies for time management. We talk a lot with our adult students about how that's one of the most important factors in doing well is carving out the time that you need. Clearly, you're working. You've already shared that you're a parent. What are your strategies for time management?
A lot of times just being like Nike, just doing it. My job
Uh-huh.
is more so 8 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm by 5:30, almost 6 o'clock. It's like clockwork. I'm automatically sitting in my corner in my bedroom, computer, and I'm there. And
Mm-hmm.
if I have if I have the tenacity to want something, I'm gonna do it. Anytime
Mm-hmm.
a person strives for excellence, they're gonna put in the work to get there. And
Mm-hmm.
that's just where my mindset is. I'm looking at the fact that I'm older, more mature,
Mm-hmm.
and I understand the value of what I'm putting into and what I'm trying to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as my time, I manage my time mainly Monday through Friday. I'm normally on my computer between 6 and 10. I'm on my
Mm-hmm.
computer.
You
Weekend,
even
ma'am.
go ahead.
Weekends, I kind of do my time and all. I'm normally an early riser, so
Mm-hmm.
once I'm up like 6:30 every morning without
Mm-hmm.
fail. At least by 8, I'm on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the end of the evening, I may like between 3 and 6, I'm on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to get a lot of stuff done between Monday through Saturday because on Sunday, that's church. And I'm trying to rest because I got to start
Uh-huh.
over again
Uh-huh.
the next day. So that's how I basically manage my time. And then my family, they all understand what I'm doing. I have no
Hmm.
distractions. And I mean, when I'm really just bogged down with something, my time is, I mean, it is critical and all because being in an accelerated courses and all, I have to put in the time. I can't just lollygag on something and take for granted that time. I have to dedicate time right then and there. So the fact that
Hmm.
I have no small responsibilities running around right now, there's no excuse for me not to put the time where I need it.
Hmm.
I'm striving for this degree. I want this degree. So I'm gonna do whatever
Hmm.
I need. I'm gonna take the time. There's no social life. And I can balance that, but
Uh-huh.
my main focus is putting in the time, whatever time needed for this degree.
You mentioned a couple things. You even mentioned to me the corner in your room. It sounds like you have a specific place that you go. Your
I do.
family is aware of what you're doing and they know like, hey, if you're over here, don't distract you.
Yeah, a lot of times my husband comes home from work, he see the house is totally dark, but there's only one light, and that's in the corner of our bedroom.
Where you're getting your work done.
Yes, and then sometimes now if I'm not in that corner, if it's a nice day, it's not so hot or anything like that. I have a back patio area which I'll sit
Hmm.
out there and all that. If he can't find me in the house, he know I'm outside. So
Hmm.
I'm either one or two places. But
Hmm.
when they see there's just one light on in the whole entire house, upstairs and down, they know what I'm doing.
I love it. And I also really appreciate you mentioning that you still build in a day for truly resting. I
Yeah,
think that's amazing. And I think that's great advice to share with other students because even though the due date is Sunday evening, 11:59 p.m., you have your work done by Saturday so that
a lot
you
of
still have Sunday to rest.
a lot of
You're not
times it's
waiting
that.
till the last minute. You're not procrastinating. Like you said, you're just doing it. You're just getting it done.
And a lot of times on Sunday, I may just like if I have a paper, I may go back and proofread, go back over some things, maybe a little something I may want to, tweak or something. But it's very short lived. It's no more than about an hour and a half that I will spend before I'm submitting because it's
Mm-hmm.
always because I'm always going back checking.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess
Checking your work, revising.
that's just the nurse in me. You always go back and check and recheck to make sure,
I love it.
Mhm.
Sounds like you're the right person to have in somebody's corner from that perspective too. Have you set any specific goals during your academic journey?
I am hoping to be graduating next year sometime,
Hmm.
and I'm giving myself at least 2 years to be in a position that I would like to be in, and either director, managerial, or supervisory position.
Love it. Okay. So, what advice would you give someone, Laketa, who is going back to school?
Do Indiana Tech.
Hmm.
The Operation Graduate. I don't know if I need to call it a program, but it is awesome. And then if I can hook them up with Daryl and all, just I mean, if anything, I'll give a lot of praise to him and all because he is one of the main reasons why I decided to stick it out. Just his
Hmm.
gentle voice, his encouraging words. I mean, it was almost like I had a cheerleader on the other phone telling me, yeah, you can do it. But
Hmm.
one of the biggest things I would tell anyone and all is that if you have a dream, make it a reality. Put the
Hmm.
time, the patience, and it's a whole bunch of patience you have to put with it. But take the time out for yourself. Know what
Hmm.
you want to do and do it. Don't let
Hmm.
nothing hinder you. Make sure now you have a good support system that knows what are you trying to do, where you're trying to go with it. That
Hmm.
and and like I say, Daryl is part of my support. Lord knows, and I probably done worried him to death. That even
He's laughing. I can hear him.
even though he says that I haven't, but if I call him, it's like, what's wrong? If
Hmm.
he can hear it in my voice, no, or something, no, but he's always available. He's
Hmm.
always available. I mean, during hours, after hours. I've been recommending Indiana Tech. I had never heard of Indiana Tech. And then when I got to looking it up, I said, oh wow. And then,
Hmm.
I was like, this is just awesome. I mean, I've had a really, really great experience. Some of the classes have been a little challenging and all, and it's so discouraging. But I tell anybody, you have to persevere. And
Hmm.
and I don't know how most people are, but I can tell you spiritually, I have learned to pray about it. And that's just my way of calming myself
Hmm.
and being able to just kind of clear my mind, refocus, and then realize, okay, life is not easy to begin with. During the journey, you're going to have obstacles in your way. There are
Hmm.
going to be things that's going to come at you and all, but it's just all about learning how to circumvent those things and still stay on your path and all, because I'm trying to be at the very end. I'm trying to
Hmm.
be able to walk across the stage, and that's going to be a major accomplishment for me. I already know I'm gonna be crying. I'm emotional about things stuff, but I just want people to just really stay focused. Don't be deterred. It's gonna be some hard days. It's gonna be some
Hmm.
days and all which you want to take that computer and throw it. But it's
Keeping it real with Lakita.
keeping it real because I done threw those tantrums. Okay, you mean like, oh my gosh, another paper? Oh my god, oh a PowerPoint. And that was the other thing, having to learn how to do things that I never had to do. Oh,
Hmm.
I was crying while I was learning.
Hmm.
And the thing is, it got to the point where I got good at my PowerPoints. I had to learn APA. I did not know what an APA paper was. I've never heard of
Hmm.
it, but I learned it.
Hmm.
And I have written some of the best papers per my instructors.
Hmm.
So it's just, you have to stay dedicated, stay focused, know that you want to do it, and ain't nobody gonna do it for you. I have my accomplishment, and I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting to that end where I can walk across the stage. So,
You're sharing some amazing points. Thank you. It's interesting. We often talk with our students about APA and PowerPoint because those are two pieces that right away are typically involved in one of the first classes. So you come back to school and it's like you get hit all at once.
yes, I was definitely a polar bear in the desert. Yes. Hmm.
I have two more questions, and I thank you so much again for everything that you've been sharing with me. I found it very interesting that you said you had been a nurse and had 20 years of experience, but you decided to shift to healthcare administration and really focus a little bit more on the business aspects for your degree. Would you advise other folks who are thinking about nursing to maybe consider that as an alternative?
And with healthcare administration, the fact that I have almost 20 years experience in nursing, working in healthcare and all genres, I'm looking at the fact that it's an advantage for me,
For
because
sure.
it's one thing to know the business side of it, though, but you also got to understand the health side of how that business side is going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And with me already having nursing experience, and I also have experience in quality management, case management, working in medical management,
Mm-hmm.
and working with a lot of the insurances. So having this degree, I'm looking at the fact that it'll be a big advantage because it'll put me right where I want to be in the experience that I have. I'll be able to utilize that experience more clearly.
What would you advise somebody who is maybe who didn't have 20 years of nursing experience already and they were trying to decide, do I want to get into like a traditional nursing program or should I do something in maybe healthcare management or health information management? How would you help somebody think through that challenge and through that decision?
When you think about healthcare, you have to understand what health really is.
Hmm.
And having some form of medical knowledge prior to makes it make more sense.
Hmm.
dealing with like the healthcare laws, the policies, a lot of the principles that deal with healthcare environment where you can put two and two together.
Hmm.
And anyone wanting to go into that degree, there are people that have gone through who have no healthcare experience. It's all, you know, business. And
Hmm.
they have excelled very well and they have
Hmm.
learned along the way. But I'm just thinking that anyone like me who has prior healthcare, working with patients, working in patient settings, working in the office settings, on the financial part and all of nursing, you coming in and out with a different aspect of the degree that you're trying to get because it's making sense. You putting two and two together.
Yeah, you're familiar with the environment in which you're going to apply that knowledge.
Yes,
So you can almost foresee things in a whole different way.
yes.
Um, okay, well, Lakita, my last question is, would you refer someone to Operation Graduate?
Without a doubt. And I'm giving them straight to Daryl. I'm gonna
He's
load him
laughing
up.
and clapping in the background right now, so he hears you.
Yes, I will load him up.
All right. Well, we always know that our students are in good hands when they're working with Daryl, and he has been supporting students now for probably over 20 plus years. So it's clearly something he's very passionate about. We know he does it very well, and we're so grateful that he's part of our team here. Is there anything else that you would like to add before we wrap up? It's been such a pleasure to hear about your experience. Not only Daryl and myself, but the whole team here wants to congratulate you again on all the success that you've been having. But I will let you wrap up. Anything else that you want to share?
I thank you all. I thank you for this opportunity. I'm really just thankful and grateful to be a part of this and stuff. This is monumental to me. This just goes to show I'm doing something right. And if anything, I have to tell people, stay positive, stay
Mhm.
focused. One of the things that I've always trained other nurses and healthcare workers, I always tell them, I say, when you put in positive thoughts, you get positive outcomes.
Mhm.
And that's just something that I live by, and I tell anybody that.
Lakita, those are the perfect words, I think, to conclude. Thank you so much.